On the morning of the first resurrection, does the coffin open and somebody jumps out and says, you know, I'm here, Lord, you know, give me a universe? Well, I don't think so.
There's a war brewing in this territory. Brigham Young trying to make his kingdom. You got the Wasatch Mountain Range. Grizzlies, wolves, riled up Mormons.
Someday, this entire American continent will be ours.
Travis Wayne Goodsall. Mormons will never understand why I keep doing videos despite the low number of views, despite all these years, despite all these over 8.5K videos. I am here to warn Mormons. I am not here to entertain you. I'm not here to pacify, flatter, and deceive you into thinking that all is well in Zion. I am doing these videos so that when you hit your faith crisis, you will have no excuses but to blame yourself. Trump Ice 2025, the playlist. 1 Nephi chapter 14, starting in verse 10. And he said unto me, Behold, there are save 2 churches only. The one is the Church of the Lamb, and so Mormons automatically put in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So Mormons will never answer who the Church of the Devil is. The other is the Church of the Devil. Who is the Church of the Devil, Mormons? Is Bruce R. McClunky right that it's the Catholic Church? What about other Christianity? What about Islam? If there are only 2 churches, how come there's over 1,000? Which one is it? Which one's the Church of the Devil, Mormons? Well, they already told you who to look for. They're filthy rich. They have lots of women. They wear fine apparel. They murder Mormons. It says they murder Mormons. The saints. You do understand that the Book of Mormon is only for Mormons, right? It's not for Catholics. They don't like the Book of Mormon. They don't want it. It's not for Islam. They don't want it. Only those who agreed to join the church take the Book of Mormon. So much so that there's a brand new convert from November who came to Salt Lake City and somehow lost her journal and her Book of Mormon that she custom designed with her notes of studying the Book of Mormon. And there's a nationwide search for it here in Salt Lake City of Mormons who are professing that they'll go to Salt Lake City Airport. You just watch, I'll do it. Lots of Mormons love to say they'll do stuff and then they don't do it. But nonetheless, I'm willing to bet somebody stole it. Because it was a pretty cool looking Book of Mormon, even though it's got her picture on it. You know, she's cute. But still, I mean, for a Mormon to steal another person's Book of Mormon, yeah, I know. Mormons have been trying to steal my quad after I got home from my mission. They thought it was funny to joke about stealing my quad. You've never seen my quad? It's in one of those boxes. I don't need it anymore. My brain is the scripture. And yeah, that was amazing, Stanford. You were inspired. Because here I am doing a comment reply video for Stanford, and oh my God, I fulfilled that. So too bad the rest of you don't watch my channel, don't see my videos, and aren't listening to this to know. Yeah. When you understand it's Christianity, which includes Islam, because Muhammad copied Christianity, stole Trinity God and called him Allah, then you understand it's Mormon Jews and Christian Mormons. Why else do you think we have inverted pentagrams on Brigham Young's temples? The symbol of the devil, and you can't figure out which church is the church of the devil. Come on, Mormons. You have no excuses. I will continue to do my videos, despite the threats, despite the false accusations against me, despite the cyber terrorism. I will continue. You will have no excuses. Wherefore, whoso belongeth not to the church of the Lamb of God belongeth to that great church, which is the mother of abominations, and she is the whore of all the earth. And it came to pass that I looked, and I beheld the whore of all the earth, and she sat upon many waters, and she had dominion over all the earth, among all nations, kindreds, tongues, and people. Whereas nobody cares about the Jewish Church of the Lamb. In case you're clueless, 1, the Book of Mormon says it's Jewish. 2, Joseph Smith said it's Jewish, and thus he's Jewish. And both the Book of Mormon and Joseph Smith both state that the Bible is Jewish, as well as the Bible says it's Jewish, not Christian. The scriptures were created before the creation of Christianity, therefore it is not Christian. Not complicated. And yet, here we are. Mormons pretending to be dumb when they're really evil and are about to experience a faith crisis in the coming day. And they will have no excuses when they are destroyed by the great and abominable church that's holding them hostage. So, as the church has dominion over all the earth, they are building temples to own the land. Why? Well, because the second coming of Jesus, according to the great and abominable church, is that Jesus, aka the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, because where is Jesus, Mormons? Nelson keeps telling us we're going to see the wonderful magical powers of Jesus and that he's here, but where is he? Oh, you got conned. You didn't realize it's Trump. No excuses. And so the second coming of Jesus, as defined by the living prophets of Jesus themselves, is mass murder and coup of government. And with Sister Missionary Jessica, who leaked her mission president's leak of Dallin H. Oaks in 2020, saying that the mass murder and the coup of the government in 2020 is only going to be a test run, a trial run in chiasmus for this year. And so Trump starts off shutting down the federal government. Federal agencies are being disbanded, people are getting fired, programs are being stopped, funding stopped, to everything. That's Trump's plan. He's having trouble because the church told him to slow it down. They want to make some more money, acquire some more land, but Oaks made it very clear the deadline is Easter, when everybody's going to burn and only the righteous are going to be resurrected from the burning ash. So, with those threats in mind, this is why Trump is doing what he's doing. Church is the major stockholder in the stock market. We all know this. The whistleblower leaked. And as a result, just as the church profited in 2020, they're expecting a profit here in 2025. So when Trump is ordered to issue tariffs, the stock market tanks because the church is pulling out their stocks. Yesterday, Trump was ordered to issue 25% tariffs on autos, and the church pulled the stocks. Duh! A blatant case of insider trading. No duh. And since Trump is in charge of the government and he's destroying it, in accordance with 3 Nephi chapter 7. The regulations of the government were destroyed. Thus they did divide into nation states. National divorce. You will have no excuses, Mormons. You chose not to study. You chose not to run the scriptural test to find out if you're being led by false prophets. So, yes, we'll read this for you. No, that's not the one. Never mind. We'll use it for another video. This is more for the enemy. Because the enemy knows that having Christianity turn the Jewish scriptures into literal history, Jesus failed to save the Jews. And so, they don't believe that there would actually be a Jewish Christ who would be a mortal human being. And thus they do not believe that he will save the Jews in the latter days. Since Christian Jesus didn't save the Jews, neither will Jewish Jesus save the Jews. Both will fail. And so, yeah, if only Mormons knew about the Jewish Christ of the Book of Mormon and of Joseph Smith, so that they would know to look for him, because he's a Mormon. I hope they can find him so that they would have no excuses. Trump is now pursuing firing all of the federal justices. This came from Johnson. This is House Speaker Johnson, who still has that app with his son sharing pornography. Dad, the app said you're looking at porn right now. Look at what I'm looking at. Oh, son, we're bonding. I love you, Dad. I love you too, son. But not in a gay way. Only on the porn I watch. Oh, dear God. Wait, there's a surprise from Utah coming up. New law in Utah. I don't understand why Trump is doing this. There's gonna be no more elections, so there's no point. He's now requiring that you have proof of citizenship in order to vote from now on. That's now been signed into law. And so that means no more mail-in ballots. You have to show up in person to a polling station. He's gonna make sure that there are not enough polling stations, or you have to travel miles and miles and miles to get to a polling station. And then you'll be confused as to which polling station you're supposed to go to. We all know what's coming. All know what's coming. And, of course, the first news stations to go are the ones that receive federal funding from taxpayers. So PBS, NPR are soon to be fired. We all know it's coming. Destroying the federal government. And 23andMe. Full disclosure, that was the DNA company that I had used to find out of my West African lineage on my mom's dad's side. and informed me of how far back we have bones found in southeastern Africa that go back as far as 200,000 and 300,000. I'm not sure which is which for maternal, paternal side. I think my mom's side is longer. Yeah, because I did it again. But they went bankrupt. And so this is a dangerous situation for a company that deals with human DNA to go bankrupt. Because eventually the company will go on the auction block and others can buy it. And I'm sure with DNA that everybody has honest intentions and will never use it for malicious purposes like creating super soldiers of Travis. Can you imagine the nightmare? Which one's the true one? Oh no! Well, those Travises are immortal. They must be the true ones. Travis is only mortal like that Jewish Christ. These other Travises are more like Jesus. Oh dear God. And so yeah, when I saw in the news from Letitia James, who was kind of warning customers of 23andMe to delete their accounts, yeah, I went and deleted my account the other night, staying up late. So but yeah, I got the information I needed from it. There was nothing more for me to obtain from it. So I've already downloaded the files of my DNA and such. But yeah, it was a good run. I probably, I probably should see about putting the maps in there for you. In Egypt, or not Egypt, well, it was Egypt, but it was Judea. It was 22,000 years ago, or 2,200 years ago. Dear God, I'm aging it. Which, you know, is around 100 plus into the Greek period. The Jewish woman who was reporting on this did not understand the difference between ancient and classical periods. It's classical, it is not ancient. They found a pyramid that was used by the Jews there in Judea. And okay, so it looks like my paternal line is the younger one, the maternal line is the older one. So there, I've got them. We'll do a customizing of it for you. Try to remember to put it in the video. But yeah, my account is closed and shut down, so they no longer have authorization to sell my DNA. So if they sell my DNA, that's on them, and there's nothing I can do about it. But yeah, I made sure to tell them, yeah, I understand you're bankrupt. That's the reason for why I'm deleting it, because they didn't bother to notify us. Dear God, such corruption. You know, and it disturbed me because when they wanted to do research, they wanted to try to prove that psychology is true, and they never could. All these years, and they never confirmed any of the claims of psychology. There is no such thing. I already knew that in advance, but confirmed, they couldn't do it. They were specifically wanting me to answer a questionnaire for psychological purposes to try to see if they can find out if, you know, people can have a DNA for mental retardation. The church keeps claiming we do. So I checked. Nope. Sorry, Oaks. You took drugs and got tardive dyskinesia for nothing. Good job. You know, just use science. It was disturbing that a DNA scientific field is tampering with pseudoscience. I mean, that was what disturbed me the most. But they provided me with factual information, so as long as they did that part, I didn't care about them unable to find out I'm mentally retarded. So sorry, Oaks. They checked. I'm not mentally retarded. Sorry, all of you Mormons who put a hate comment that I'm mentally retarded, and I got one the other day. Do I still have it in the files? Dumbass trying to smooze to the Relief Society presidency. They don't watch my channel. It's only the members of the 70 who are part of the Strengthening Church Members Committee who watch my channel. Yeah, here's Janda woman who says I look like I have mentally retarded eyes. And your mother's secret boyfriend, that doesn't sound abusive whatsoever, and no wonder YouTube didn't flag it. So on the BYU Science Department finally proves the Book of Mormon is true. Mentally retarded. So much love from Mormons, showing that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is true again, true again, true again. Because Jesus embodies love, just like the Relief Society president. That was the comment. Oh my God. Get the hell off my channel. And so the pyramids, or the pyramid, was there on the trail by Gaza, and so they're all speculating as to what it was used for. They were wondering if it was a tomb, but now they're thinking it was more like a guard post. Just nobody wants to use science. You got scientists who are digging up the site, and yet they rush to speculation as to its conclusion. Oh my hell. Who taught people in these fields of science to botch it? I don't get it. I don't understand. Palestinians are finally protesting Hamas. They want Hamas to stop it. Now, this is also part of the trap. Don't think that they're actually turning on Hamas. They're not leaving the land yet. They are not stopping fighting with Israel. This is a trap. They've done it the whole time. It's what they do. They want to claim to be victims again. They want Israel to bomb them while they're protesting Hamas. But if you are not going to Hamas, taking the hostages and returning them, you are the enemy. This is what the news will never get from any of this. Every single time Israel attacks, it's not against innocent people. It's not against people in the hospital. It's not against a refugee camp. They are targeting Hamas. They are targeting those holding their people hostage. Again, this latest bombing of a hospital proved it again. And the news is also trying to, promote that Israel were big, bad, and mean by having taken prisoner an Oscar-winning director, writer, producer, whoever. He was aiding and abetting Hamas rather than fleeing, rather than fighting Hamas. And so, as an enemy, he was locked up. Nobody wants to understand the truth on that. So yes, pay attention. Just because people protest doesn't mean that they're now the good guys all of a sudden. They are not making restitution. Their land is destroyed. Consequences followed from attacking Israel. And the final one for the video. 30 minutes, cool. So we can get to some other stuff. Because we got something fun for tomorrow. So I need to get to it today. Plus I need to get to the calendar pretty soon here. I only have 2 more days left. Calendar for next month and the Jewish calendar. In Texas, there was a scandal about the temple being too tall. And so the church has now presented a castrated temple. The church will still get the land. They just want the people to be pacified. Fine, we'll lower the size of the temple. But they still get the land. I just read to you why. The church of the devil has dominion over all of the face of the earth. They are diverting you away from their plot. You are getting conned by it. Texas. Texas, Texas, Texas. Never good to hear women screaming. Especially since at 2:30 in the morning, it's probably one of the homeless. Way to go, Sister Homewrecker Mendenhall. Pretending to fire the chief over the homeless crisis when the new guy isn't doing anything to stop the homeless either. You just got live action news. Action Jackson news. So, yeah, maybe that can be a theme song. memories from my teen years. We're also losing people in the apartment because of Trump's tariffs and listing of who's illegal, and the cost of living rising. So, yeah, the cleaning lady was busy yesterday.